Hello friends, my name is Charles. Welcome to OG Adventures, or welcome back I should say. I haven't posted in years. You may have never even seen my face, so I guess that's out of the way. Face reveal video is now unnecessary. You join me, it's early in the motorcycling season, in my front yard, my driveway. So here I am talking to myself in my driveway. I guess that's how it goes on YouTube these days. It's a bit cloudy today. The sun is trying to come out, as you can see. I thought I'd take you with me and introduce you to my friend who's going to be helping me on this channel, at least for this season. Stay with me right here in a second. Of course it's a GS. I mean, what else was I going to get, right? What else was I going to get? You know what, I had another idea for today's video, but I think that's a good topic. Let me strap on my helmet real quick as the sun is trying to come out. I'm gonna take you for a ride with my admittedly pretty dirty GS, as these things often are, and I'll tell you what the plan is for my channel and indeed why I bought this. Stay with me. All right, folks, well, I better be honest with you, and this is a full disclaimer. What you saw just then, that little intro piece, well, that was last week. So here's the truth. The truth. I went out for like an hour and a half. I tried to find a decent road to talk to you guys, and the truth is that it was just extremely windy. And I couldn't get a word out without having to stop and, start over and all that good stuff. So I'm back home. I said, let me record something like this as my neighbor is hammering away at the chainsaw. It's the real world. We have to deal with it. It is what it is. So I wanted to come back home and record something like this. And then I started feeling kind of scratchy in the back of my throat. And, well, the truth is that was COVID. I got COVID. So for the past week, I've been kind of on the mend. And that was a good segue, and it was kind of apropos with the kind of relaunch of my channel and what I'm trying to do here. Because COVID, not the actual having of it, but the societal impact that COVID has had has been kind of tough on me on a social level. And I guess that's kind of why I kind of wanted to get this going again, was to because it's been tough to connect with people and maybe meet new people, make new friends, and share experiences and hobbies and passions such as this one with other people. We had to, stay home. We couldn't go anywhere, travel, do anything. And so I said, instead of working my day job and then when 5 o'clock came, just changing screens and then moving on to some sort of video game or a movie or something, I needed something productive to do with my free time. And now spring is here, and the snow is melting, as you saw in the little intro there. There was some snow left in the back. The weather's kind of turning. It's getting warmer. I can get the bike out. And so I would like to reintroduce you to my channel. I'm doing this to connect with you, hopefully start some conversations on, motorcycles, motorcycle travel. I'll take you camping if I can. And at least for the first year and the first motorcycling season, the common theme this year will be how in August, at the end of August, I have this huge trip planned, and I'm going to British Columbia. I'm going to the Vancouver area, and I'm in Quebec. I'm around Montreal, so that's like 5,500 kilometers away. And I'm taking a couple of weeks to go there and do that. So that's gonna be amazing. I hope to take you with me. So in the meantime, I'll be talking to you about my gear, what kind of camping equipment I'll be using, the route I'm planning to take, or which campgrounds I'll be staying at. Hopefully I can take you with me, and weather permitting, show you the campgrounds and stuff like that, and connect with you guys on that front, and hopefully you guys stay with me. I do have a great full-time job that I love. This isn't a situation where I lost my job and I have to turn a hobby into some sort of business and try to earn a living doing this. This is a kind of a hobby thing, and I'm trying to do something productive with my free time, if you guys kind of think that makes sense. So I hope to post every couple of weeks. Might not be that regular. And as you'll see, full disclaimer, I have to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of, you know, sitting for 12 hours trying to edit a 15-minute video. So hopefully the level of content and the level of conversation that I can have with you is going to be the main kind of focal point of the channel rather than the container of the production value, if that makes sense. Okay, so the motivation that I'll get out of this is going to come from you guys. So whether you leave a comment or a question, you know, down below in that section, or you think of, you know, giving the video a like, and ultimately maybe even consider subscribing to the channel, that'll give me the kind of thumbs up and the little pat on the back I need to keep this going kind of thing. Okay, so for this first video, now that that's out of the way, and welcome back, I want to show you this, because in buying this, I've had to consider some stuff, because as you saw on my channel previously, I had a 2011 Victory Hammer S. That's gone. I've sold that to somebody who hopefully will take care of it and will have a lot of fun with it, and that's great. I've discovered myself as a motorcyclist on that bike, I think, and I went from wanting to have a kind of a weekend sport cruiser, kind of a Sunday afternoon ripper type situation, to more of a long haul touring, maybe some off-road and some packability and camping potential bike. So I had to consider adventure motorcycles. And if I wanted to take the bike long distance, and I'm, you know, 6'1", maybe with the boots, 230 some odd pounds, I had to think about, you know, some of the full-size, full-fat adventure bikes from, you know, whoever was offering them in the market. So I have had to give it some thought and consider different bikes. And so, as I said before, I want to talk to you about why I picked the BMW GS. This is an R1250 GS Adventure 2022, brand spanking new. This is the triple black edition. I'm not going to give you like specs or my full review, and you know, you see I might have some accessories on there, and I'll show you all of those later on. But for now, it's about telling you about my thought process and why I kind of, you know, bought this, if you get my drift. Apart from this, there were only about 3 main contenders. Those of you that know about bikes kind of maybe know which ones I'm talking about. I was thinking about the Ducati Multistrada, the new V4S, which seemed amazing. I was thinking about the KTM 1290 Adventure. And truth be told, I was also thinking about the Harley-Davidson Pan America. Later on, I found out that the new Triumph Tiger came out. And but I had to order kind of in the fall, in October, November, so that I would get whichever bike I decided to buy in time for the new season. It's the end of April now, so I've had this for about a month. You kind of get my drift in terms of the timeline. So I wanted something obviously comfortable with a good enough engine, with all the amenities, creature comforts. I wanted, you know, nav and heated everything, and some off-road potential, some packability, and all those bikes really ticked those boxes. But there were a few intangibles where I figured this is going to be the clear choice, and I'd like to go through those with you if you'll bear with me. First and foremost, I wanted something reliable and something trustworthy. And for me, the BMW was the choice there, because this has been around for 40 years. And the dealership network is really strong. The Boxer engine is bulletproof. The reputation precedes itself. They've had 40 years to kind of develop and hone this motorcycle and really come up with a quality product. So to me, that kind of ticked that box, something reliable, something trustworthy. I wanted something that was also really good off-road, as I learned to ride off-road and become a little bit better at that. So with all of the, you know, ABS traction control and all that good stuff, I had options there, but this also ticked that box. And then, you know, engine power, comfort, suspension, wind protection, all of that good stuff is really present here on the BMW, as it would have been with other bikes. But there were reasons why, and ultimately I think I'm going more in that direction of why I disqualified and discounted other bikes and kept this in mind. The KTM is renowned for its, you know, engine and power and street performance. It can go off-road, it's, you know, probably good at that if you're good enough, but it's more for, you know, the street, and it's about that engine. And that would have been nice. Is it a lot more powerful than this? Maybe on paper, but, you know, I've been driving this around for a while, and this is plenty fast. I hear the dealer network isn't as nice in terms of customer service. I'm not sure about the quality of construction. I looked at, you know, some of the buttons and stuff like that. If one of you has a KTM, I'm sure you like it. Maybe, you know, leave me a comment and tell me about your appreciation for the bike. But I felt that this had a more quality finish, and I was gonna get better service from the dealership network, and I was gonna have an easier time finding people here and there that could probably fix them on the BMW more than the KTM, just because this has been around forever, and it's the GS. Everybody kind of knows what this is. Then the Multistrada came along, and it's kind of the same story. Was I gonna buy an Italian bike? What if I drop it? Is it kind of really an expensive thing to fix? Is it as good as this off-road? I don't know. And again, the reliability of kind of the electronics and things of that nature, I felt was a little bit better on this. Maybe I'm completely out in left field, and please let me know. I just felt like this was the sure shot. And then the Harley-Davidson, I have the utmost respect for Harley-Davidson, and I really like that they went in the direction of producing an ADV bike. It's a great motorcycle. The reputation is very good, but I just wasn't gonna buy a first production run model. It's their first attempt at it. I'm sure they'll come out with different versions down the line that'll be a little bit better every single year until they have a really finished and polished product. Again, for that reason, I probably wasn't gonna buy the Harley-Davidson. And the Triumph Tiger, the timeline, I mean, it just came out. I couldn't order one, even if I wanted to, in the fall and have it on time here in Canada. So I figured I'm gonna stick with this. And this was the winner, and it had to be beaten. You know, in boxing, you have to knock out the champion. And for me, it was, let me just get a GS. I know what I'll get. It's the known commodity. It's the one that every other manufacturer is gonna have to try to beat still. And to me, that was kind of the Mac Daddy and the sure shot, the known commodity, right? So that's my thought process behind buying this. I've ridden it it's gonna have 750 kilometers on it now, not that much. And I really, really like it so far. It's not perfect. I will make sure to record a full review later on and give you a 10, 12, 15 minute overview of, you know, what I've done to it and also how it rides and how I appreciate it on the road. I still have to get better at the off-road bit. I don't have that much confidence in the off-road now. So I hope you kind of understood my thought process. I would really appreciate it if you gave me your thought process, if maybe you picked this or you picked another one of the bikes that I've mentioned. If you picked the Ducati, you picked the KTM, you picked the Harley-Davidson, maybe you've just ordered a Triumph Tiger, maybe you bought something out of Japan that I didn't really consider. I didn't really think a Japanese bike for me was gonna do it. I wanted kind of something special and maybe European and you know, something different. So maybe you bought one of those and you think I'm completely out in left field and I overpaid, could have paid a little bit less for something else and gotten the same kind of quality ride. Let me know what you think. Ultimately, this is why I'm doing this, is to kind of share my thoughts and opinions with you, and hopefully you think well enough of my video and my content to engage with me and tell me what you think, okay? So stay tuned. Again, I'm Charles. This has been OG Adventures. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you soon on the road or on the internet. Thanks.